The Pixel 3a ups the ante for mid-range smartphone manufacturers. It offers great performance for the average user, a gorgeous OLED display, and a camera that beats the competition by a long shot. On the front, you'll find that the Pixel 3a is slightly taller and wider than the Pixel 3. It weighs 5.18 ounces, which is more or less identical to its more expensive sibling, though it has a polycarbonate shell as opposed to a glass back. The front display is a tiny bit larger at 5.6 inches compared to 5.5 inches on the flagship. If you want a larger display, the Pixel 3a XL comes at 6.3 inches and is nearly a carbon copy of the 3a in all other aspects. While both the Pixel 3 and 3a are available in black and white, the 3a also comes in purple-ish, as opposed to the flagship's not pink. There's no front-firing speaker like you'll find on the Pixel 3. Instead, you'll find it alongside the USB-C charging port underneath. And don't worry, it's got a 3.5mm headphone jack at the top. The left side is home to a SIM slot, though there's also an eSIM on board, so you may never need to use it. Our lab testing shows nearly identical color gamut between the two displays, and the only difference that popped up is the Pixel 3a being a little brighter than its sibling. Probably the biggest difference between the Pixel 3a and 3 is durability. While the 3a has a more durable polycarbonate body, it has a more rigid display. It also has no IP rating like its flagship sibling, meaning it's unlikely to withstand a drop in the pool without permanent damage. When it comes to mid-range phones, cameras always top our list of cons. While phones like the Nokia 7.1 and OnePlus 6T do well in bright light, their performances are always a hit or miss in low light. The Pixel 3a changes the game with cameras that can easily compete with flagships that cost more than twice its price. The rear camera comes in at 12.2 megapixels with an f1.8 aperture, as well as having optical and electronic image stabilization on board. It's nearly identical to the camera sensor on the Pixel 3, though the front camera isn't. The Pixel 3a only has a single 8-megapixel lens with an f2.0 aperture, while the Pixel 3 has a pair of 8-megapixel standard and wide-angle sensors. The Pixel 3a is also missing the visual core chip you'll find on the Pixel 3. That being said, Google is a master at software post-processing, and the difference between the images on the 3a and 3 are negligible. In bright light, the Pixel 3a performs beautifully. Our lab photos are vivid with excellent color accuracy. Both background and foreground images are well defined, and depth of field, which is an aspect where many mid-range phones stutter, is perfect. Low-light photos look spectacular as well. At an observational level, the Pixel 3a photos are nearly indistinguishable from the Pixel 3 when using night sight. Looking at the images in full size, however, background details in night sight are a little less blown out on the Pixel 3. And while the Pixel 3a is missing the second front-facing lens, it still does a great job in all lighting situations. During our tests, we found it to work equally well in both daylight and low light. The Pixel 3a ships with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 670 processor and 4GB of RAM. Apps opened instantaneously, and we were unable to slow the phone down with over a dozen apps open simultaneously. Storage comes in at 64GB. That's the same amount you'll find on an entry-level Pixel 3, as well as the Nokia 7.1 and Motorola Moto G7 Power. But unlike the 7.1 and G7 Power, there's no option to add additional storage via a microSD card. It would have been a nice touch to add an additional 128GB storage option or microSD slot, but we don't think it's a deal breaker since Google offers free photo storage, and most people opt for streaming multimedia services these days. While it can't compete with the processing power of the Pixel 3, we think it'll satisfy all but the most demanding user. A 3000 mAh battery powers the Pixel 3a and does a splendid job. In our lab test, which streams video over Wi-Fi at full brightness, the 3a managed to last for 9 hours and 22 minutes before needing to recharge. That's not as impressive as the Moto G7 Power, which lasted 14 hours and 29 minutes. But you should still have no problem getting more than a day between charges with more conservative use. It also supports fast, but not wireless charging. It's no surprise that the Pixel 3a ships with Android 9.0. It features the custom Pixel UI, which adds exclusive features developed by Google, like Duplex, Now Playing, and Call Screen. Like all Google-branded smartphones, it's guaranteed to get at least 3 years of software updates. The Pixel 3a ships unlocked and supports all carriers. It also supports every major LTE band, including Band 71, so even T-Mobile customers in rural areas should expect solid data quality. Call quality is superb. During multiple test calls, we could easily understand the other party without any static or clipped words. Noise cancellation worked perfectly without background noise seeping through on any of our calls. Earpiece Volume comes in at 81 decibels, so it's easy to hear the other party in just about any atmosphere. The bottom-firing stereo speakers can get quite loud at 88 decibels in our testing, and while there was no bass to speak of, the overall sound was bright and clean without any tinniness or static. The Pixel 3a supports Wi-Fi on the 2.4 and 5 GHz bands. Bluetooth 5.0 is on board for wearable and audio connectivity, and there's also NFC for Google Pay. Although it's Google's first go at a mid-range phone, the Pixel 3a flirts with perfection and has rightfully earned our Editor's Choice Award. While the Pixel 3a XL is a solid phone that's perfect for people who want more screen real estate, we believe the Pixel 3a is a better value for the money. It offers great battery life, solid Android software, a gorgeous OLED display, and a best-in-class camera. And while it may lack the key wireless charging, that's by no means a deal breaker.